Well, good morning guys and welcome back. Today we are taking a break from the living room project, which is going really well, by the way. I should have a video update about that in the next few weeks. I'm not really sure. But this morning we're headed over to a friend's house and we're going to get some logs. He had some trees that got blown down in a windstorm maybe a month or so ago, and we're going to load those up on the trailer and put a few of them on the sawmill, and we're going to get some materials out of those logs that my dad is going to use to build a really interesting and super simple and useful project. So yeah, let's head over and get these logs and see what we can get out of them. Back out now. Works too. I figured that would happen. Push up though. It's good. So guys, the gentleman that y'all just saw on camera loading those logs with his tractor is actually on the way over here right now, and he's bringing some more logs with his dump trailer, and he wants a few boards, just plain old kind of thin boards out of some of these logs. So let's get that knocked out and then we can proceed to the materials for the project I was telling y'all about.
hold it down.
Let's come over here. Let's come over here. They're coming off. They're all coming off.
It's all coming off?
Yeah.
Okay. All the way down. Good job. You're the man.
Image went out. That's okay.
There you go.
Well guys, all the footage that you just saw was from yesterday, and my friend loaded those logs for me at his place, and he brought another load on his dump trailer, and all he asked for in return was about 3 logs cut up into some boards and stuff that he needed. Those things were blown down in a windstorm. He didn't have any use for them. He was just happy to see somebody get them. So man, I am super grateful, and we will put these to good use. So this one right here will be the first one that we put to good use. This is a great log. It's about 12 and a half on the small end. This is the large end. I didn't measure, but I'm guessing 14, something like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one log into 4 true dimension 4x4s for the project that I mentioned earlier. So let's get to it. And if I'm super careful and do this right, I should only have to make 6 cuts to get these 4x4s out of this log. Let's count and see if I'm successful. Well guys, that worked out pretty good. 6 cuts and we got 4 really super nice true 4x4s out of that. I don't think they're all exactly perfect, That's 4, 4, oops, 4, 4. Well, they're about within a 1/16 each of them, so you don't get a whole lot better than that on a sawmill. Let's grab a piece of one of these and I'll show you what I'm talking about with the project. Oops. Well, guys, I'm pretty sure most of y'all have figured this out by now, but this is nothing really groundbreaking. This is just a carpenter bee trap, and if you have outbuildings, stuff that bees just absolutely love to eat, this is what you need hanging around. And I just wanted to show how ridiculously easy these things are to build. This is actually the first one that I've ever made. That's probably why it's quite crude, but it'll probably work okay. It's just a 4x4 with a big hole drilled up through the middle and some 1/2 inch holes that are angled up like this, drilled upward into the hole that's in the middle right here, and then some kind of a jar on the bottom. It doesn't have to be glass. My dad is actually the expert on these carpenter bee traps. He makes tons of them. That's where I got the idea to make this one. He uses Gatorade bottles, plastic mayonnaise jars. This is one that he made right here. It's whatever jars you have laying around. You can pretty well use whatever. I just found some chain that I had kind of stuck up in one of my cubby holes in my shelves in the shop there. Put a wood screw, or a decking screw actually, to hold it in there, and I'll just put a screw in one of these rafters here and hang it up just like this. But yeah, there's nothing to it. If you have some untreated, it has to be untreated wood. If you have untreated 4x4s laying around, or even just some regular boards, you can make one of these pretty easily. This is one that my dad made a very long time ago. He used to make them out of boards like this, but he's since started making them out of 4x4s. But this is one that he made a long time ago, and you can see all the carpenter bees in there. Many of these are still alive. These are fresh carpenter bees just from this year. Basically how it works is the bees go up in these holes and they go down to the light in the jar, and then they're unable to get out. And yeah, that's a good helpful way to help control the carpenter bee population on your property. Carpenter bees are super destructive. They'll weaken your structures, and it's good to have something out there to control them. This one was my first one. It didn't have to be this cumbersome. It could have been, you know, this short, something like this. So this one's a little bit awkward looking, I guess, a little bit janky looking, but it'll probably serve its purpose. I'm gonna go hang this up, and that's gonna be it for this one. I appreciate y'all watching, and thank y'all for thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all on the next one. Wanted to add one more thing before I end this one. So the carpenter bee traps are probably the most effective and efficient way to control carpenter bees, but actually the most fun way is with one of these paddles like this. So this is a paddle that is made out of a golf club and an old car tag. So we used to buy golf clubs at yard sales for like $1 when I was a kid, and my dad would make these right here. And basically you just take these and you cut the head off of them, the club part off of these things, and screw a car tag to it, drill a whole bunch of holes in your car tag to make it more aerodynamic, and it's a blast. It is a lot of fun just walking around and swatting bees like this. Use a golf club because it gives you a little bit of extra reach. And also those traps, make sure if you want to build one of those, put you 2 or 3 carpenter bees in the jar portion, and that'll attract more bees in there. So anyhow, that's all I wanted to say for this one. Thought I'd add this about these. This is a big part of my childhood right here, is walking around and swatting carpenter bees around the place. But anyhow, I'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks for watching.